All right, turning to some health news this morning. This is kind of surprising. I knew that back pain affected a lot of people, but research shows it's nearly 80% of people will have some sort of back pain in their lifetime. And Dr. John Small from Advent Health is joining us this morning. He is a surgeon, so he, of course, knows how common this is as well. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning, Carly. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so this is huge. 80%. I knew that it was a big problem.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people struggle with this, but 80%?
Yeah, I think if you look at the statistics, it can be staggering when you look at the cost to society and the time off work and just the amount of low back pain and also 50% of people who are within the working force will experience low back pain over a year. So it is very ubiquitous. There are the good news is that most of it is self-limiting. Most of it will run its course, and oftentimes you don't need to have too much done in the way of intervention to get through it.
So let's talk about this. What are some of the most, common causes of back pain? Why are so many people suffering?
Yeah, I think the sprains and strains are your basic back pain, the weekend warrior type things. Those we all are kind of aware of. With the falls, the slip and falls, the parent that reaches over to pick up their child and experiences back pain. The vast majority of those are self-limiting. Sports injuries are very common, very also typically self-limiting. And then there's a whole category of I didn't really do anything, but I've had this low back pain, and there are definitely some indicators that would lead us to look into that further. But again, most of it is self-limiting, and most of the time you won't need to see someone like me.
Preventative measures. Are there things that we can be doing to where we don't have to, maybe suffer as much?
There are, and I think there's a whole list of risk factors that go into having low back pain. As far as exercise is really important, and we stress that very much. And I think one of the first lines of treatment for low back pain is exercise. It's difficult to take someone who doesn't exercise and put them into an exercise program and necessarily think that things are going to turn around. But I think getting people to at least look into what they're doing, what their exercise program regimen is. Weight is very important. Weight loss. It's amazing how many people come into my office that are overweight or extremely overweight, and really are really wondering why they're having so much problems with their backs. We encourage weight loss. We encourage exercise. We encourage yoga, stretching, and just more of a healthy lifestyle. Diet is another thing. I don't do a lot of counseling with diet, but I very much recommend patients that they do seek some counseling or see a dietitian for that. So most of it, again, is more of a superficial layer of getting people to take responsibility for their health, and I think that oftentimes leads to less back pain. Smoking is another one. I tell patients, I think stopping the smoke is probably the most important thing they'll ever do, much more than I can ever do for them for their back.
Oh, wow. So before we run out of time, we have a minute left here. How do you know when it's time to come and see and look at surgery, or come in and actually do something about it other than, what you can do at home?
Right. I think there are a list of red flags. And I think when I see patients, these go along with some of the questions that I ask. So number one, when do you have the pain? How severe is it? Does it go into your legs, to your arms? Is there any weakness, numbness, tingling, any neurological symptoms you want to feather that out? Does it keep you awake at nighttime? Or do you have a fever? Most of the back pain that we're talking about is mechanical. So it usually you do something, play golf, you lift something heavy, you clean out the garage. That's a reason to have back pain. But if you're getting waking up at night with back pain and it keeps you from sleeping, then that's a red flag. Any fevers, chills, anything like that going along with the low back pain, we definitely want to look into that. Falls, sometimes fractures, and again, depending upon the age group, those are all things that we think about that are on the list that we cannot afford to miss. Sometimes other things around the spine, aneurysm, that type of thing we need to look into.
Well,
So
this is why it's so important to not put it off. I know we're out of time, but I know you and your team are still making it still so safe in this COVID world that we're living in. So do not put these things off. We've been showing the website. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us this morning. There's the website.
All right, Carly. Yeah.
And
thank you very much, Carly.
Appreciate it.